Hi friends and family, every day is such a lovely day, isn't it? And on lovely days, I love to bake. Have you ever had oatmeal cake? Even if you have, you'd still need to come try my version. Oatmeal cake with a touch of chocolate is featured today on Cooking Made Easy with June, brought to you by Macy's, the happy shopping store in Spanish Fork. Hello Spanish Fork and everyone else. Welcome to Cooking Made Easy with June, and I'm not gonna lie, I was looking for a recipe to make, and Emily White, who's been on many times, she has this choir cookbook, and I saw the oatmeal cake. And I never heard of oatmeal cake before, but once I looked it up, it's actually a very traditional cake. I don't know from where, but there's so many recipes for oatmeal cake. Well, I have not tasted it. I made the cake ahead, and then I'm gonna make it on the show, and then we're gonna taste it together, because I also did a couple little things that I just can't help myself, and I'll show you. Okay, so the oatmeal cake, the ingredients look so lovely. I said, how can I fail, right? So it starts out by putting 1.5 cups of hot water, and you guys, if you have another room for another gadget, I love, love, love my, oh my gosh, what is it called? My kettle, electric kettle. And it's amazing. Like, you can just make hot cocoa and herbal tea, whatever you want, and boiling water. You just turn on it and it boils so fast. So I love this thing. So if you have the time, I would get one. I mean, it's easily stored. So you need 1.5 cups of boiling water. Oh, let me make sure I got this right here. Okay. Yes, 1.5 cups of boiling water. So I'm gonna make sure I get the right amount. Let's see, I'm gonna look, you know that you have to have your cups on a solid level. Okay, there you go. So 1.5 cups of boiling water, and then 1 cup of rolled oats. I love, 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 love oatmeal. And so I make oatmeal cookies, I just eat oatmeal in the morning. Oh my gosh, I love, love oatmeal. And I love the rolled oats best. So I put a cup in there, and you're gonna let it soak to let it get soft for the cake. So I'm just gonna give a quick little stir here. Okay, and then you just make cake like anything else now. So we start with, let's see, we're gonna cream the butter, which is, let's see here, 1/2 cup of butter. Let's see, oh my gosh. Cake is 1 cup of rolled oats, boiling water, 2 eggs, salt, cinnamon, 1/2 cup of butter. Okay, so we're just gonna cream everything together according to directions. And I also preheated the oven to 350. Now, that's what the recipe calls for, but my son told me, Mom, you know that, because I have a new oven, it's pretty new, about a year and maybe 2 years, but so it's pretty precise. And so he read somewhere that if you are living in high altitude, which I am in Utah, I should have been setting my oven temperature to another 25 degrees. And I had no idea, and I started doing that, and it's coming out so much better. But again, like I said, it depends on your oven, so test your oven. If you've been fine with the 350 for all your recipes, fine. But I set mine for 375 because I am actually on high altitude cooking. So anyway, so 350. And then soft butter, sugars, and lightly fluffy. So I'm gonna put all the sugars together. So this is, I have 2 different sets of sugar. So we have a topping and a cake. And now we're gonna make the cake. So it calls for, oh gosh, sorry guys, I'm looking, I should have brought my, 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of sugar, granulated sugar, and 1 cup of brown sugar. There was 1 cup of brown sugar. And then we're going to cream that together, and then we're gonna add the eggs and etc. So I'm just gonna cream it together like that. It's on turbo. I'm gonna turn it down a bit. I do like this. Okay, no, that's turbo. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna cream my sugars together pretty well. So another thing I'm doing now is I went and bought a bunch of brown sugar, right? And I thought it was just regular brown sugar, but it's actually dark brown sugar. But I actually love dark brown sugar in a lot of my recipes. So the recipe I'm posting is just the basic one, but I am going to use dark brown sugar in mine. That's my take on it. There's some things I just can't help but substitute, right? Okay, that's pretty good. So we have your sugar pretty mixed in together. I'm gonna scrape the side a little bit. Okay, there you go. See, just make sure it's incorporated. That looks a little dry, but it's gonna be just fine. All right, we do another quick. I see a little clump of brown sugar in there. Okay. All right, then we need to have 2 eggs. Make sure you don't get shells in there. I have to learn the hard way that when I'm cracking eggs, I'm not going to be rushing it. All right, so eggs, and add eggs, salt, baking soda, cinnamon, vanilla, and oats. Okay, so let's add the salt, baking soda, cinnamon, and oats. So we need a teaspoon of baking soda, only a pinch of salt. So a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. Where's my salt? Oh, here. So a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I should get this mixed up. This is the topping. So a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Every time I measure salt, I think of Sleeping Beauty and one of the little fairies, and they're making her a cake. Now I'm gonna get messed up. She would go, "What's a tisp?"
1 tisp. Tisp?
Oh, it's just the cutest show. You guys gotta go watch it if you have not. And that's when she was making the cake. Anything involved cooking, I just love. Okay, so 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 soda, 1 teaspoon of soda, 1 vanilla, and 1 cinnamon. Okay, easy, easy. So I need to also look at my teaspoon. I've got all these here. Oh, there. So cinnamon, baking soda, and vanilla. Is that right? You guys got to keep track for me because I just like to talk and I'm always generous about cinnamon. Oh gosh, there's that spoon and I stick it in the soda and get some cinnamon in the baking soda. It's okay. And then 1 of vanilla. And normally I would add more vanilla, but okay, 1 of vanilla, and that's, let's see. Goodness, I need to start wearing glasses on my show. Oh, that's the day that you get old, right? Okay. Baking soda, cinnamon, vanilla. I got all that, right? And salt, and then oats. Okay. So we're just going to put the oats in here that's been softened in the boiling water. And we're going to stir it. Okay, now this is like makes a really thin batter. Okay, and now here's my take. I always try to sneak in whole wheat flour, especially when I have discovered this brand, this Bob's Red Mill, and it's available at Macy's. But lately, I haven't been able to find it in a lot of stores. But what it is the whole wheat pastry flour. Oh my goodness, I put in my chocolate chip cookies, it is so good. So I'm gonna, instead of white sugar, all-purpose flour, I'm gonna put whole wheat. And this is what I like to do. I like to sneak it in there, and it always usually very yummy, but we'll see, right? So we only need 1 1/3 cup, okay? So now, let me show you what it looks like. Gosh, why is my cup sticking? Okay, 1 1/3 cup of flour. I'm just gonna kind of do a rough thing of it. Okay, so as you can see, it's really a very thin, it's a very thin batter. And I first thought it was that way. But, let me show you. Okay, so you get that in there. And then my other take is I wanted to add some chocolate chips. So I add 2/3 cups of chocolate chip in here. Okay. And I'm just going to, see how it's really thin? And I was a little bit worried about it. But after I baked it, it took, so I baked it for 28 minutes, but then, and I checked it and it was like all kind of runny still in the middle. I'm like, oh my goodness, maybe I did it wrong. But I checked all the recipes and all the oatmeal cake recipes call for the same amount of butter. So I'm gonna grease, just do a quick little non-stick spray on the bottom of this. And so that last 10 minutes of baking was so crucial to this cake. So I added 10 more minutes. So I'm gonna show you. So I added 10 more, I'm gonna stir. Okay, I didn't stir, I don't know why the chocolate chips are clumping in there. I'm just gonna do it like this. Oh, you know what it is? It's because that water was still warm from the oatmeal, but it's still gonna be good. Okay. All right, so that's it really for the cake. I'm gonna stick it in the oven. So I would say, I would start out with your oven for 30 minutes and then maybe add 5 minutes at a time. And then I have one already baked. And I warmed it up a little bit because I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna be doing for the topping. Okay, so now we have to make a topping. So see, so it's cooked now, you can see. I'm so excited to try this. Okay, so now the topping, ooh, see, I kept it warm. But you would need some butter and 6 tablespoons of soft butter, a half cup, it says a half cup of sugar, but I'm gonna use brown sugar. Again, I just love brown sugar and whole wheat stuff. And then also a quarter cup of evaporated milk. So I'm gonna put that in there. And a cup of coconut and a cup of pecans, but I'm using walnuts because I forgot to get the pecans, but it's okay. I think walnuts and oats, this just goes more natural, honestly. So I'm gonna put that together and let me get my little, oh gosh, I'm gonna use, go get a mixing spoon. Where did I put it? I'll just rinse my spatula. Okay, and I'm gonna, okay, so I'm gonna stick it in the microwave until it melts and incorporate it. So I wanna say, let me see what Emily says. Emily, so you say when the cake is baking, okay, and then you put in the microwave until it's melted and then stir in coconut pecans. I put it all together. It's okay, it's gonna be just great. You can't fail. Okay, the butter was really super soft anyway, so see how it's just like that, it's gonna be good. Okay, so I'm gonna mix that together pretty well. So I was just, so if you're allergic to nuts of any kind, I think you can just leave it out, right? And it'll still be so good. And I am gonna do that for Chris because I have another topping. I'll just pick out the walnuts, unless it's already mixed in there. Ah! So I'm just gonna put this in here and we're gonna broil it. Isn't that weird? But we're gonna broil it to get it crispy for like two minutes. So I'm gonna spread it out. So it doesn't make a ton, but I think it's gonna be good. But all the ingredients just look so yummy. No fail, right, guys? Okay, I'm just gonna do that much. All right. So let me turn on the broiler. I left the upper oven broil and start. Shouldn't take long to get hot. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. Oh, it's warm. And broil it for like 2 minutes. Okay, we're all done. It broiled for a little bit. You have to stand there and watch it because look at how quickly it, you know, how broiling things. I always burn garlic bread if I broil it, so I've got to really watch things. So I'm just gonna cut a little piece I was gonna plate it, but you know what? I might not plate it. I think this is just lovely the way it is. Or maybe I will, just so we can see it. So. That one doesn't have a lot of topping. This one does. Oops. Oh gosh, I killed that one. We're gonna do another one. Well, this is, you know what it is? It's the chocolate chips. Can you guys see the chocolate chips on there? Ha 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 ha. Look at this ooey gooey yumminess. Oh. I think, you know, I'm gonna put a little cinnamon. There you go. Let's eat this. So excited. I'm gonna do a little dance. Because you guys, I love the chocolate chips in it. I love the chocolate chips in it. And I love the whole wheat. See how it was so runny, but after you bake it, it is so good and so moist. I need a glass of almond milk. Look how easy that is. The humble oatmeal cake is super, super delicious. It'll be a star on your next party. So, until next time, happy cooking.